Hello, hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Skeptics and Seekers Sunday Sermon. This is your host, David Johnson. We are doing a short, sorry about the long introduction, I was trying to figure out where I was on the screen and what I was doing. I am out with knee for a few days, which means I'm at home and I do what work I can at home between doses of medication. And one of the things I can do to help keep my mind active is stay in touch with the board and do shorts. I'll try to do shorts when I think that I am competent to do them. But if you want to reach me on the board, you have something to say and you want me to respond, I'm probably more capable of doing that right now than I usually am. So, let's get to it. Friendly Atheist, everything wrong with Candice Owens' conspiracy-laden anti-evolution rant. All right, we talked about this, and so I wanted to do this as a follow-up because not more actually, but so many, Americans are science deniers and religious nut jobs. And I say that in the most careful way I think I'm capable of mustering right now, because they have the kind of nut jobbery that says the earth is about 6,000 to 10,000 years old. Never mind all of its science. And, it lays it out in the Bible how exactly the earth was created. And so all of your scientists are stupid. That's the kind of nut jobbery I'm talking about. So, I have a question. Who is Candice Owens? I keep seeing her pop up in stories. I do not know who Candice Owens is, and I feel like I'm supposed to know who Candice Owens is. Is she a celebrity? Is she a politician? Is she a pastor? Who the heck is Candice Owens? So, somebody let me know. I feel like I'm missing something important, but we're going to hear from Candice Owens in her own words. I'm not going to read this article, but I will link it so that you can read the article. And I'm sure when I'm done with this, I will look at the comments and have a laugh, because there are always good comments on this page, Friendly Atheist. And if you want to leave a comment on my page, skepticsandseekers.squarespace.com, just log in your Discuss account and discuss away. I do appreciate the emails that I get from time to time, skepticsandseekers@gmail.com. Okay. Let's just hear Candice.
Could you imagine just like the story of man here? Like, it just really, we have a creator, right? We have a Bible that tells us the story of exactly what happened. And then it takes some modern Satanists to come around and to convince you that actually you're from an ape.
Okay. Yeah. Already have thoughts. So the Bible tells us exactly what happens. I think there are even creationists who don't believe that the Bible is some kind of scientific manual when it comes to creationism. So, I mean, you've gone all the way off the right side of the pool. And I don't know what waters you're swimming in at this point. That's just nuts. So everything that you need to know about the origins of the universe, it comes out of the Bible. The more I hear that sort of thing, the loonier Christianity sounds, this is real Christianity.
Of a Bible that tells us the story of exactly what happened.
I mean, you got the Bible, for Pete's sake. What do we even need schools? Why are we spending money on textbooks? I mean, the Bible is right there. It's got everything you need right there.
And then it takes some modern Satanists.
Some modern Satanists. I mean, not the ancient Satanists. The ancient Satanists would have never tried this. But the modern Satanists, who are these modern Satanists she's thinking about? And what are they doing exactly, Candice?
To come around and to convince you that actually you're from an ape.
Yeah, okay. That comes from modern Satanists, not scientists. Unless she thinks that Satanists and scientists are the same thing. Furthermore, that's not exactly how the theory of evolution goes, but let's just assume that she needs to read one more book to kind of get at least her counter-argument straight. We'll just go with her wording on that for the moment, so no need to write me about evolution. I got it. But do we get that from Satanists, really? I mean, the S word, sure, but Satanists? I would have gone with scientist if I were trying to finish your sentence.
No, like they're like this is science. It's science, guys.
Yeah, okay. So I guess Satanists and scientists is the same thing in her language.
You come from apes. You were an Australopithecus, and then you were like, oh, and then one day you started walking.
Okay, I'm just going to say that was a pretty good ape.
Erect, Homo erectus. You started walking around, and now you can speak. And the chimps are still here, and you share a DNA with them. You come from monkeys, and there are people that believe that because trust the science, right?
Okay, so I am trying to grant as much as I can due to her ignorance, but this is one of the ways that the least educated criticism of evolution goes. So if this is your argument, if this is how you critique evolution, you should stop. You clearly don't understand the theory that you're critiquing.
Right. They polluted our bodies every single day. We understand this. We're literally being mass poisoned by the deer, and you share a DNA with them. You come from monkeys. And there are people that believe that because trust the science, right? They polluted our bodies every single day. We understand this. We're literally being mass poisoned.
Okay, we're being mass poisoned, I assume, by scientists, nutritionists, politicians, the TVA. Who is mass poisoning us? And what is the poison? What does anyone know about this theory of us being daily mass poisoned? Because I am frankly behind on my kook conspiracy theory, so I clearly need to up my game.
By the same government that is rinsing the population with this atheism.
Okay, so the government is mass poisoning us. Does that include the Republicans? Because I think there are more of them right now than there are Democrats. So the Republicans are mass poisoning us. And they're rinsing it with atheism. The Republicans, they're... Okay, anyway.
This atheist ideology while convincing people to believe in themselves. You can be your own God. We're now...
Okay, hang on. So I've dealt with this one on the board. Obviously, Candice does not peruse the 4S board. No one is trying to be their own God. Simply because people want the right of self-determination, that doesn't equate to godhood. In fact, Christians believe in the Constitution, especially the Christian nationalists, They believe in freedom, across America, right of self-determination. The fact that you want to be able to determine your own course doesn't make you a god. It doesn't mean that you think you're a god. And I question how you define God. You know, I'm walking to the store. I'm not sure which way to go. I don't have a signal, so I can't pull up GPS, and so I know it's either left or right. Well, I choose right. I made a decision for myself. Does that make me a god? How many decisions does it take before I think I'm a god or acting like a god? Or are there certain kinds of decisions I make before I'm acting like a god? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
At a point where science is instructing children that they can just choose their own sex.
Science is instructing children of this. First of all, let me just be very clear right here. I don't believe we choose our sex any more than we choose our sexual orientation. Even people who are bi, and they could decide gay sex or straight sex. And so you see, they're choosing. Well, no, they're not, because they didn't choose to be bi. That is their sexual orientation, and that is the nature of it. And in the same way, I don't think that anyone chooses their sex. I think they simply recognize it. So we can talk more about that if you like. But the thing I actually wanted to say is even recognizing that your body is the wrong gender. I do not believe in transgender irreversible surgical procedures on minors. I do not. I think that's a decision that they have to make when they are able to make lifelong, permanent, major decisions. I also don't believe in elective surgery for minors, at least certainly certain categories. Knee surgery is an elective surgery. So, your kid is an athlete, they get the dreaded ACL. Technically, they don't have to have it. They're not going to die if they don't get it. So when I say I'm against elective surgery, you're going to have to use a little bit of judgment in what I'm talking about. But in this sense, I don't, probably much to the chagrin of people on the left, approve of transgender surgeries for children. But I absolutely do believe that children can recognize that they are misgendered. So there's a lot of complexity there. Come at me, bro, sis, or whatever you would like to be called. But that said, don't think for a moment that I'm agreeing with anything that Candice is saying here. Let's just back up a hair and let her say it.
While convincing people to believe in themselves. You can be your own God. We're now at a point where science is...
I'm sorry. She has a problem with people believing in themselves. And just say that out loud, all right? How dare you believe in yourself? Like that's some kind of a bad thing. I mean, how do we... There have to be people who are on her side and who are close to her who can put their arm around her pastorally and say, Candice, it's okay to believe in yourself and think positively about yourself.
Is instructing children that they can just choose their own sex. Yeah, talk about not believing your own eyes. Don't even believe your own body. What do you want? Science.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spend this much time here, but you should not believe your own body. Your body lies to you all the time. Your eyes lie to you all the time. There's spectrums of color that you cannot see that are there. All right. Usually that's not fatal, but if you could see radiation, fewer people might irradiate themselves. Taking sun baths too long. So maybe it would help if we could see some of the spectrum that we can't see. Our eyes tell us that we are seeing the whole picture when we're not. Eyes lie. Ears lie. You thought that was the call of a lion, and it was just a lawnmower, a couple of yards away. No, a lion has not escaped from the zoo. You can stop running. So, yeah, our senses lie to us. But in the matter of gender, well, surely that's not a lie. I shouldn't say gender. I should say sex. In the matter of sex, that can't lie, right? I mean, if you have a penis, then you're a dude. And if you have ovaries, you are a dudette. And Christians conveniently never, 0 times, talk about hermaphrodites. Yeah, you know what a hermaphrodite is, right? Well, you don't know what it is from Christians because they never talk about it. And so in case you have not heard the word, let me just tell you. It's a person with a penis and a vagina. You see, our DNA is fucked up. Our chromosomes get fucked up. And sometimes it just throws us a curveball where it says, yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to be. Have both. Sew one up, chop one off, whatever. Have both. I don't know what you are. I don't know what to do. That's your body. Is your body telling the truth in those cases? See, those are the cases that we can see. We can see the genetic hash that we have to work with. We can see the DNA hash that we've got to work with. We can see the chromosomal stew that just gets off kilter with our own eyes from time to time. And yet, someone like Candice Owens, very simplistic. Oh, but you see, that person's got a penis. So that is the only factor that determines sexuality for you? Well, actually, it's not. Because if her argument was that simple, then we could say that she is relying on science. She's just a bad scientist. But she's not relying on science. She's relying on the Bible.
Can make it happen. And still, people did not believe that we were fighting Satan. They did not believe that this was the devil. They just thought that these were just some human beings that were getting it wrong.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So no matter where you come down on the transgender issue, no matter where you come down, no matter where you come down on the evolution issue, Christians, I'm talking to you, Christians. Let me explain to you why I call some of you nut jobs, all right? Why I call some of your beliefs nut jobs. You see, I don't actually mind someone being wrong about any of this stuff. We're wrong about stuff all the time. We were all wrong about it before we were right about it. So that's not really the problem. The problem is, for a certain type of Christian, the only possibility, say for transgenderism, that someone could be trans, the only possibility is Satanism. It's demons. You see, it's obviously demons, don't you know? It couldn't possibly be biology. Couldn't be that. No way. Couldn't be that some alien from another planet experimented on our DNA. I mean, that's whack job, but why not? Why not throw that in the possibility bucket? No, couldn't be that. Couldn't be anything other than demons. And that's when you've gone off the edge into nut jobbery. We can't even have a conversation about other possibilities. You're a nut job because the only possibility that you will allow. Demons, gotta be demons. So, Christians, I'm asking you, will you at least acknowledge, even if we allow demons to go on the ballot box of possibilities, would you allow that there are other possibilities besides demons for someone feeling like they are in the wrong body and changing the physical attributes of their sex? Can you allow for that? Is that possible? Could we have that conversation? If you can, great. You're not a nut job. You're just wrong. If we cannot, if you look at it and say, oh yeah, demon, like Candice, them's the facts, it's only demons, then you are a goddamn nut job.
Like, there's no huge plot. There's no huge conspiracy. You're a conspiracy theorist if you understand what it is that they are doing, right? The people that are speaking about this are routinely being condemned.
I condemn you.
And I understand why. I totally and completely understand why
Because you're a goddamn motherfucking nut job.
that is, because it takes a lot. It took a lot for me. I had to really commit myself to a long period of research to truly.
I would love to know what sources you use for research, because one of the things that you find with conspiracy nut jobs is when you get them to share their sources of information, it is never a mainstream source. It's always some off the beaten track thing. I've been wanting to say this on the main program or write a paragraph or two about this, sources, epistemology. So in my time as writing, I wrote for news outlets from time to time. And so even though I did not go to J school, I was not a journalist, I had to do the job of a journalist from time to time. And when I worked for those news outlets as a ghostwriter and freelancer, I had to follow journalistic practices. Part of following journalistic practices was knowing how to find and use authority sources. You need good, reliable sources. And so you have to learn the difference between an authority source and a bullshit source, or just a source that may or may not be good, but is not considered an authority source. Can't use it. And I would really encourage Christians especially, but everybody who talks about these types of things on the internet to just take a day and just look up, do a little bit of research, and find out what journalistic sourcing is. And maybe educate yourself and improve on the sources that you use for information. Candice did not do that. So whatever she researched, I guarantee it wasn't that got her to this place where she is.
Believe that it is plausible that this world is being run by a very small group of elite oligarchs who routinely practice homosexuality. It took a lot for me. I had to really commit myself to a long period of research to truly believe that it is plausible that this world is being run by a very small group of elite oligarchs who routinely practice homosexuality.
Illuminati! I didn't know that the Illuminati were homosexuals. I mean, they're all Jews, right? They're apparently this band of very powerful, very rich homosexual Jews. I didn't know about the homosexual part. Look at her face right now. She's so earnest. She, she is she is so bought into this. She's gone all the way past the ability to be ashamed of her bullshit. She's it's not even a consideration for her anymore that this could be bullshit. She's
It is plausible that this world is being run by a very small group of elite oligarchs who routinely practice homosexuality and pedophilia and who believe in Baphomet as a deity and who worship a transgendered deity. That's a lot.
I mean, that's okay. Let me see. So they're homosexual and they're pedophiles. We've got the great evidence for that, right? They're homosexual, they're pedophile. Because if I just have to say it, the largest group of known pedophiles are preachers and priests. I mean, that's if you ask yourself, I mean, just look, I'm not trying to beat up the church here, but if you ask yourself, as a group, what group do you think of first that is most likely a pedophile? Man, it's not even criminals. It's priests. So, okay, but they're homosexual. They're pedophiles. They worship Baphomet. And their god is transsexual. But if they worship Baphomet, is Baphomet transsexual? Is this new information? So I don't know. Let me look. I'm going to let her say it again, and I'll try to let her finish this out.
World is being run by a very small group of elite oligarchs who routinely practice homosexuality and pedophilia and who believe in Baphomet as a deity and who worship a transgendered deity. That's a lot, actually. Even saying it right now, it's like, wow, that sounds really crazy. But it's happening in front of you. And I'm showing you what these people actually believe. I'm pointing you to books that you can read to understand where and when and how this happened, to prove to you that these people have never been out of power and that the elites have always practiced these sexual rituals. They've always believed in this. Throughout every modern society and ancient society, we had this battle going on. Now it's time for you to wake up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Candice. Perhaps someone can point me to one of these books. Because while I'm on this mini leave of absence, I'm sure that I will find some time to read this bullshit. So, all right. Look, I just wanted to inform you of what was going on and follow up with you on the whole evolution, literal yet creation kind of thing. I think we found one person, at least, who took the survey. She's definitely in the yet camp. And she's also apparently a Christian who practices and believes in real Christianity, the good stuff, the real stuff, real Christianity, boots on the ground, butts in the pews, Christianity, baby. So you know what to do. skepticsandseekers.squarespace.com. Log into your Discuss account and discuss away. You can send me an email at skepticsandseekers.squarespace.com. Until next time, I will see you in the comments. And in the meantime, dancing to the tune of Trans Baphomet. I'm out.